A very pleasant good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And here in the famous Chicago Playboy Club, we present a man, a young man, a humorist who faces the realities of our time with a smile on his mobile face. Ladies and gentlemen, Dick Gregory.
I wish you'd read all the papers. You know, you've been reading these local papers, you know, they're calling me the Negro Mark Saul. You have to read in Congo papers and see what they call him Mark Saul, the white Dick Gregory. And Since I've been on the Jack Paw show, everybody's been asking me what is Jack Paw really like. I'm trying to find out who I am. They can call me Bob Newhart, Shelley Berman, Mark Saul, and a couple of... I'm so confused being three white boys and myself, I don't know what to do. Well, the way things go in 10 years from now, you have to be my color to get a job. Well, I'd like to thank you very wonderful people in the audience who have talked about my act and come back and bring your friends with you. And through doing this, you push me right up into the eyes of the Internal Revenue. Before all this happened, I never worried about tax. They out to my home every day now. You know. Oh, they don't bother. You know, they come in and, oh, we with the Internal Revenue. We're not coming for no business. Just come to visit the wife and family, you know. And sit there 2 hours talking about Joe Louis. And I make like I don't know who Joe Louis is. And the guy believed it. He said, you mean you never heard of Joe Louis? Never? I said, oh, yeah, you're talking about the tax consultant. See, in this income bracket I'm in now, we fill out what you call estimates earning, where you guess how much you're going to make for the year, and it was due in last week. Well, I sent mine in last week, but I didn't sign my name to it. See, I feel if I have to guess how much I'm going to make, you guess who this is. And they did. A lot of people don't understand how we can own so many Cadillacs with them inferior jobs where racial segregation buys us Cadillacs. You have a country club you can join, I can't, so I save $500 a year. You know damn well I'm not taking my family to Florida this winter, that's another $1,500 I save. Walk out here tonight and get hit by a bus, I'm not going to the best hospital where they're going to charge me $2,500, so I go to City Hospital for free. Pick it up, I say $2,500 plus $2,000, $4,500 General Motors sell me anything I want. There's a lot of nice things happen to you in the course of a lifetime. A couple of weeks ago, the great Jewish comedian Myron Cohen was passing through town, and he called me up and invited me by his hotel for dinner, and all my Jewish friends were there. Eartha Katz. Billy Epstein, Harry Bella, oh, he's Italian. You see, Ralph Bunche was supposed to have been there, but like he's in Israel trying to explain Sammy Davis. And I don't care what you say, Mae Britt will never make Miss Alabama in 1961. If you really want to have some fun, you ought to make like you colored one day. I suggest you do it on a weekend. If you do it through the week, you might get fired. I talked to a lot of the television producers, and I told them, I want to see some colored cops on Untouchable. One day I turned my set on, instead of seeing 77 Sunset Strip, I'm going to see 77 Cottage Grove. But I understand they're giving us our own show next year called Stagecoach South. Starring Sammy Davis and Mae Britt. And Sammy gonna have a swinging part. And I know the first time one of us do a cowboy, the Indian gonna win, you know. There's nothing free anymore. Well, you can't even hate free. Don't you think for 1 minute all you have to do to join the Ku Klux Klan is hate me? That's money. $250 initiation fee and buy your own sheet. must keep up your dues. Nothing free. It's nothing free. You take the NAACP, it's a wonderful organization. I belong to it myself. I feel they're doing a hell of a job. But do you realize if we had complete integration in the morning, all them cats be out of work.
Whenever he pauses and reflects upon his short career, Greg can't help but realize the responsibilities facing a humorist these days. So listen.
But what do you demand out of a comic today? Good story, good plot, psychological reasoning, and above all, we must be funny. And you wonder why we're sick, huh? 20 years ago, two comics walk on the stage and go something like this. Hey, man, who was that crazy chick I saw you with last night? Another guy said, man, that wasn't no chick, that was my wife. No, that's all of the joke. That's it. That's what they told 20 years ago. But you expect more out of us today, and we give you more. That's why we ask for more money. Hey, man, who's that crazy chick I saw you with last night? Man, it wasn't no chick, that's my brother. He just got a problem. You want one? Very good. You know, a lot of people ask me, say, Greg, how come you always talk about the South? Well, I was born and raised down South. I can talk about it if I want to. Matter of fact, I was born so far south, had my mother taken one step back, I'd have been a Mexican. Not that far. Born and raised in St. Louis, Missouri, but we had our problems there. And then we'll forget, 1951, they integrated the swimming pools, and all our parents made us get out there, whether you could swim or not. Just go, get with them, go. Told my people, damn it, you want to be with them people? You go. Don't get me out there in all that water. And I know they don't like me anyway. And I can't swim. But they were nice to us. When I found out what happened, you didn't need to know how to swim. They were real nice to us. They knew they had to integrate. They had a new lifeguard for us. He was blind. It was a glorious day. We all walked out to that integrated swimming pool, diving board 50 feet in the air. We got up on that diving board, they blew the whistle, we jumped, and they drained the pool. I'm really going to have to kind of cut my show short because I have to leave here this morning and go down to North Carolina and sit in the restaurants. Well, that's funny. I have a kid brother been sitting in the restaurant for 6 months, and like he's so damn sure he's not going to get waited on, he don't even take no money with him. Wouldn't it be funny if they served him and they broke? I sit in one of them restaurants, 11 months waiting on the integrate. The integrated didn't have what I wanted. I went home down south all the way to Mississippi about 6 months ago to visit my brother. And the night before I got there, I didn't see him. I missed him forever. See, he was driving one of them pickup trucks and run through a red light and ran into a Ku Klux Klan parade. He'd have been 27 tomorrow. So I went down, you know, and heard the bad news and I started drinking, you know. And like whenever I get drunk, I think I'm Polish. And I got a little hungry, so I walked in a restaurant, which was the wrong restaurant in Mississippi, which was wrong for me to do. Because they'll make you think World War II was a lawn party. But I walked in anyway, because I like lawn parties. Especially when I think I'm Polish. I walked in there and thought I was defending them. I sit down, the blonde waitress walked over to me. I said, I'd like 2 cheeseburgers. She said, we don't serve colored people down here. I said, I don't need colored people nowhere. Hey. And about that time when 3 brothers walked in, if you ever been to Mississippi, you know 3 brothers I'm talking about. Ku Klux Klan. Big one walked up and kicked my chair. He said, boy, you know damn well you can't eat in here. I said, just for that, bring me a whole fried chicken. He said, boy, you can't eat that chicken in here, and whatever you do to that chicken in here, we gonna do to you. I said, for $1.25? I'm with integration, but don't rush it. 20 minutes later, the waitress brought the chicken out and put it down in front of me. I was putting salt and pepper on it. He walked back up again and said, "Boy, by golly, we done already told you. Whatever you do to that chicken down here, we gonna do to you." I was feeling so good, I looked at him and told him, "Y'all line up," and I kissed it. But it's a wonderful world. I have to keep living and learn how to rationalize and try to make the bad things a little bit pleasant. That's why this racial problem don't bug me as much as it should. Because I've learned how to rationalize simply because I believe one day it's going to be over. And I don't want my mind to be messed up when it's over, you know. Yeah, see, you can be so bugged up here from sitting in the back of the bus, they tell you can ride up in the front, and that'll kill you. But there are a lot of good advantages to riding in the back of a bus. Next time you get on the bus, you knows where that emergency door is located. I had a cat in here the other night after the show was over. He walked up and said, "Greg, I'm from Mobile, Alabama. I sure enjoy your act. You ought to bring your act to Mobile." I need to take my act to Mobile like Custer needed more Indians. I don't even work the southern part of this nightclub. Would you believe it's 1961, I have a kid brother going to the University of Notre Dame, and my whole family's Baptist. Everybody have to say, "Greg, how come your brother's going to a Catholic school and your whole family's Baptist?" Simple. Couldn't get in SMU or Baylor. That's not the reason. When he was a little kid, we put him in every school we could think of, and he flunked out. Private school, Methodist school, public. He flunked out every school back home but one, which was a very exclusive school, because you had to be like sent there by someone, like a judge. They held him for a while and let him out and told my parents you had to put this young man in some type of school. We'd have him back here. We tried every school back home but a Catholic school, so we gave it a try. And would you believe it? He made straight A's through Catholic grade school, straight A's through Catholic high school. Now he's down at the University of Notre Dame making straight A's. He was in town a couple of months ago and I asked him, I said, "Ron, what gives? When you were a kid, we put you in every school we could think of and you flunked out. The minute we put you in a Catholic school, you make straight A's. How?" He said, "I don't know. When I walked in that first morning and saw that man nailed to the cross, I knew they meant business."
Knowing the problems of the South as he does, and the thoughts of emancipation ringing in his head as gleaned from the history books, Greg developed a unique commentary on affairs political.
But like I said, a lot of nice things happened. Not too long ago, they put my president in office, Mr. Kennedy, and I wanted to see a change in the White House. We had a Baptist, and Truman gave us 8 years of piano playing. Ike gave us 8 years of golf. I want 4 years of bingo. 8 years of what wasn't too bad?
8 years of golf wasn't.
Oh, I'm not knocking golf or nothing like that, honey. I don't even give a damn. I just barely got the vote this time. Didn't make me no difference who won, you know. I listened first time. Well, see, you've been voting for a long time. I haven't. No, see, back in my hometown, they make us take a test to vote. Nuclear physics and Russian. And if you pass the test, they tell you, "Boy, you can't vote, you read Russian, you must be communist." We won that election for Kennedy right out there on the south side. We out there voting 6 and 7 times. And we don't mean to cheat or nothing like that. We're trying to make up for them times we couldn't vote. You read it in the paper, didn't you? Neighborhood out there on Cottage Grove. 87 people registered, 102 vote, and 2 live in the neighborhood. Yeah, we did all right out there. We won this whole state ball. But Republicans doing the same thing. But they don't use us, yeah. Chinese. It didn't make me no difference who won. I'm really for Abraham Lincoln myself. That's right. Had it been for Abe, I'd probably still been on the open market today. Like I said, I was worried after the election, but I told my wife, say, honey, we don't have to worry about nothing. On the 19th of December, when the electoral college vote, we'll know who's in. And on the 19th of December, I was so nervous and excited. I flew out to Washington, D.C. and walked up to the White House. The guard said, hey, fella, where you going? I said, I want to see the electoral college vote so I know who's the next president. He said, you can't watch them vote. They vote in secret. You have to read the newspapers. I said, I want to know now. He said, you can't. I tricked him. I found out who was. I laid on the White House lawn and watched the smoke come out the stack. And you Southern Baptists just suffer on that one. I can hear Kennedy praying now. Hail Mary, full of grace, at last the Protestants in second place. And we are.
Like most young men, Dick Gregory in time began to think about space, outer space. Not the space on men's minds, but the space in their heads.
You know, really, as a nation, we tend to worry too much. We worry about everything, and it's so wrong. We're wondering if Russia will make it to the moon before we will, or Russia make it to the stars before we will. So what? We'll be the first to give them foreign aid. That's what counts. We don't have to worry about them people. Wouldn't it be funny if Khrushchev really didn't hate us, his interpreters did? See, we're doing all right now. I'm not trying to say Russia's doing bad. They just put up one of them six flats. 7 tons. But we're doing all right. Yeah, we got a satellite up there right now. One click, take a picture of the whole Earth. Now we're trying to find paper to print it on. But to show you how far advanced we are, you ever think you see the day a mouse would look down at us and say cheese? We're doing all right. We just worry too damn much. Like I said, we're doing all right now in space. Up until a couple of weeks ago, they started lying to us. You read it in the papers. Front page, picture, headlines, chimp returns. That's a lie. That wasn't no chimp. That was a man we sent up there. That's what he looked like when he got back. They're trying not to frighten those other 6 boys, you know. But we're doing all right. We found out there was somebody up there. They had a message come back the other day, say, lady, for these monkeys and dogs, send some broads. I volunteered to go to outer space when Ike was president. I flew all the way to Washington. I said, Mr. Ike, can I get on your outer space program? He said, what for? I said, well, I can't go to school down here. Hell, they caught the U-2 plane spying, and everybody in America was shook up, so Ike said, we won't do no more spying, and 12 trench coat companies went out of business.
Dick Gregory knows that there is nothing which can be cut so thin that there is only one side to it. And here's the proof, 100 proof.
And let's face it, wars are not all bad. I mean, a lot of small men become big men in the height of battle. You don't do no fighting, fellas. You have to say something clever. Yeah, that's how MacArthur made the history book. He didn't do no fight. Just opened his mouth, said, I will return. Made all the history. He didn't have no damn business leaving. You're damn right he was going back. Truman was going to see to that. But it's the clever words that count during wartime. You take the Battle of Bunker Hill, we don't even know what they was fighting about, but you remember those clever words? Don't shoot till you see the whites of their eyes. The Battle of Leopoldville, don't shoot till you see the whites. course, don't laugh at them cats in the Congo. They kind of balanced out the world for me. See, now you can go to Mississippi, I can. I can go to Congo, and you can. And everybody in the whole world's the same. They just talk a little different and look a little different. Everybody's the same. Here in America, we have what we call ham and egg joints. We call ham and eggeries, and it's really a front for a bookie joint. And like in Israel, they have bookie joints that's a front for ham and eggery. People's the same. There's no difference. Sure, I'm glad you're laughing at my joke.
Fabulous.
Even when I'm not, laugh, you know, because you might find out Jesus is colored. And if he is, if you laugh, I put in a good word for you. And just in case he's not, you put in a good word for me.
I might need it.
And if he's neither, we both sunk. No, he's laughing because he's not working. A lot of nice things happen to you in the course of a lifetime. Of course, my luck been running so bad lately. If it hadn't been for bad luck, I wouldn't have no luck at all. A couple of weeks ago, I bought a suit with 2 pair of pants and burned a hole in the coat. And see, my luck is like real bad because I'm married and miserable. I can talk about my wife this month. She's out of the country. She in the Congo teaching natives how to fight dirty. She'll be back. And she just nags me. I can't understand women for nothing in the world. How can you girls say a little hair on your husband's lapel and miss the garage door? My wife just nags me and nags me. Told me a couple of weeks ago, if you don't quit drinking so damn much, I'm gonna leave you. I'm sure gonna miss her. I wouldn't quit drinking for nothing. I love to drink. Matter of fact, I got so drunk one night, I carried my wife to my other apartment. And she was so drunk, she thought I was somebody else. Come on! Because I've always admired men that join the Navy, because you have such a heck of an obligation. See, the girls know nothing about this. See, ladies, whenever you go into any branch of service, anything you break, you have to pay for. My first day in the Army, I broke my rifle. They charged me $85. And people wonder why the captain go down with the ship, huh?
Everyone at one time or another these days thinks about the Middle East. So does Greg.
Well, we just have to quit worrying so much. We worry. We have people right now worrying about the Jews and the Arabs in the old country. Worrying if they start fighting tonight, who would win. You know damn well who would win. Be honest, you know a camel ain't gonna outrun no Cadillac, don't you? I was reading a paper a couple of months ago where they're working on the world's first kosher atomic bomb. It says it's going to be for peaceful purposes. That's right. Trying to find a way to crack open a stale bagel. And like all the governments all over the world is like real shook up because they don't know if it's going to be wholesale or retail. I worked with Sammy Davis a couple of years ago on the South Side. We became very good friends. And Sammy called me one day long distance and said, Greg, I need some advice. I need some help. I said, what is it, Sammy? He said, well, I'm thinking about becoming a Jew. What do you think? And I told him, don't go. What you want to be segregated twice for? But and can you imagine if Sammy ever walk out and start singing, let my people go? Won't it be a hell of a crowd?
Like every young man, Greg has had his troubles. No job and no money.
Yeah, I had from the South to get a job, and the fella interviewing me said, "How far did you go to school?" I said, "About 3 miles." I got the job, best job I ever had in my life. All I had to do was throw mail. Guy walked up and said, "Hey, how long you been working here?" I said, "About 45 minutes." He said, "You know darn good and well you never learned how to throw mail that fast in just 45 minutes." I said, "Buddy, I could do better than this if I could read." Remember the day I walked in your office? That was 3 days before that they fired me. He sent me a letter. I got the letter, carried it home, read it. Come back in about 3 days. I looked at him and said, "What the world are you doing here?" So I come back to work. "What do you mean come back to work? We fired you. Didn't you get the letter?" I said, "Yeah, I got the letter." "Said you read it?" I said, "I read it inside and out." Said, "If you read the letter, what you come back for?" I said, "The inside of the letter said, 'Dear Mr. Gregory, you fired.' The outside said return in 3 days, so here I am." Best job I ever had in my life. Best job I ever had in my life. And I got fired again. I just gave it up that time. Flew out to the West Coast, got me a job working for a wine company. Good job. The way I like wine, and they pay me. All I had to do was take off my shoes and socks and step on grapes. I got fired. They called me sitting down on the job. See what happened? Here's a woman steal $2 million from a bank. And the federal government stepped in and told the people in Sheldon, Iowa, "Don't worry. The bank was insured. We'll pay the $2 million back." Now, have you ever known the government to come out behind? They told them. They paid the $2 million back. What happened? They rounded up all them big boys on that antitrust. And wasn't that coincidence they fined them $2 million? See, you read the paper. She got 15 years in jail. That means she do 5 and she's out. 3, yeah, you know about all that. Yeah, well, this is where it is, you know. Oh, don't get upset. You come in. How'd you like if I come on your job and knock the shovel out your hand? You read the papers and you... How are you? All right. Trying to get you to shut up like trying to explain integration to a lynch mob.
Not too long ago, Greg went up in a plane for the first time. He has some conclusions about plane travel.
I got on one of them jet planes, flying back here to Chicago, and everything happened on the plane. There were just 3 of us on the plane, pilot, co-pilot, and myself. So I kind of dozed off and went to sleep. The co-pilot come shaking me, say, "Buddy, wake up." I said, "Wake up for what?" He said, "I just want you to know the pilot's the last one to leave the plane." I said, "What you telling me about it for?" He said, "He jumped 10 minutes ago." He looked at me talking about, "What you gonna do about it?" I said, "Buddy, I just did it." Anytime I get on an airplane, something happened. I was flying back from Europe not too long ago, and everything happened. Pilot turned the radio on, and friends, when the pilot turned the radio on in one of them planes and talked to you about trouble, forget it. That's a record. He's already jumped. He turned the radio on and said, "Ladies and gentlemen, in benefit of saving the lives of 127 persons aboard this plane, 3 of you people will have to jump." So I'd like to repeat, 3 of you men will have to jump in order to save everyone aboard this plane. Everybody looking at me. And if they knew what I knew, they wouldn't be looking at me. Because I'd already figured out who them 3 was going to be. But they kept looking. I had to explain to the guy sitting there, "Man, I don't even jump out my bed." By that time, fellow stood up. He says, "I'm from France. In the name of France, in order to save everyone aboard this plane, Vive la France, I'll jump," and walk to the door. And he jumped. By that time, that little delicate fella stood up. He says, I'm from England, in the name of the Queen. Long live the Queen. And I'll just save everyone aboard this plane, I'll jump. And he walked to the door, and sure enough, he jumped. I'm sitting back there wondering who that other nut gonna be. By that time, big tall fella stood up, blocked his hat, looked around, said, I'm from Texas. In the name of Texas, walked back to the door, picked up a Mexican. Remember the Alamo. And the guy was really Hawaiian. But when you balance things out and you look at the situation and be real fair, a Jewish neighborhood, eat in a Chinese restaurant and get pizza. Go to a Catholic church, give to the NAACP, and drive away in a German car. Thank you so much.